Hey guys, how's it going tonight? It's does look a little dark in here, doesn't it? Was that my stream actually ends up looking like? How's everybody doing? Maybe I should turn on some more lights. I thought this was cozy, but now I'm thinking it's a little tense. You know what it is? I had to steal the extension cord that runs that one lamp behind me, so there's a little bit less light than normal. Let's bring up the fill. Maybe. Let's bring up the fill. There we go. That's a little better. But then let's bring it back down real low. Not none. Just yeah. Just like that's cool. And maybe we'll do this too. Just go. There you go. That looks a little better. Okay. So, I downloaded. So I've basically okay. Just, if you guys are here, you must be interested in D&D. I'm running our game on Monday night. How's everybody doing? Hope you're enjoying at home together. Oh, it's awesome, ACG 324. But I mean, I shot that episode months ago, so I've been playing on it this whole time, basically. But it is awesome. It's incredible. um, but it's out of control. Yeah, I run everything at absolutely maxed out, and then sometimes I try to figure out how I can go past maxing them out. But I have played a lot of Warhammer 40,000. So it's a funny thing, actually. I've talked a lot about. I don't know how much. I'm not seeing a ton of names I recognize. So maybe a lot of you guys are new friends, which is awesome. But my friend Mike, who introduced me to Dungeons and Dragons, he back in high school, he's streaming right now, playing. What the hell is he playing? He's playing Imperator Rome, and I was thinking about looping him into this, doing like a team thing, because I'm going to be working on D&D, and maybe his input will be neat. I don't know. I've just never done the team stream thing. Um, but he's on right now, and he's just starting to stream a little bit, so he's like, he doesn't actually. I don't think he even has a camera set up at this point, and he doesn't have a his audio is pretty rough, but we're gonna work on that for him. I think if we can get him to commit to actually being on here a little bit. Do I have a story arc in mind? Well, I don't think you should have a story arc in mind. I have NPCs. What is flickering? Oh, you know what that is? I gotta turn that light off. Hold on a second. It's just making me crazy. Um, switches. Where is that? Sorry. So I think that from a dungeon master's perspective, it's kind of a bad idea to have a storyline in mind. I have NPCs who have where's the overhead? Is that it? There we go. Okay. I've got NPCs who have plans and plots in motion, um, and they are my story, and then I injected the characters into that, and so the characters are my wild card. Is it quiet? Oh, is it? I think it's just you, man. I'm just right to the red line on mine. I think it's pretty solid. I could come up maybe a touch, but just barely a little. How's that? Is that better? Um, yeah, and I think that's right. Anyway, Gunther Mogoth, you shouldn't really have a super serious plan because, well, one, I think it makes for a bad play experience. The whole point is that the players have agency, and if you have a plan, you're going to try to make the players play along to. Oh, that's weird. I can't pop that out. I was going to pop out my friend's chat in case you want to talk to me there. If you have a really specific plan in mind, you won't be able to give the players that agency. You're going to try to fit them into your story. I have a friend who ran our vampire game for a really long time, and he um, what am I gonna say? Uh, he was big on the illusion of agency, and sometimes he could pull that off, and sometimes he couldn't, and it always pissed me off. Honestly, he could run some great stuff. No, Vampire, as in Vampire the Masquerade. He was running the Transylvania Chronicles in a very player versus player heavy way too. The players were, I mean, we were not a party. We were unwilling co-combatants, but yeah, but that's not true, Alexandriel. You're not a player that ruins story arcs. You're a player that creates story arcs, and you have a DM who is I wouldn't say bad. I would say maybe not experienced, and so they haven't figured out how to roll with that. Um, okay, so wait, hold on. Panda looked me up on Teetotaler Twitter to ask a question. Saw them live, but then didn't follow up. So hit me up, Panda, and then Nunavik. First time tuning into the stream and love the YouTube video. Sorry if I missed it, but we're version D, 5th edition. Yeah, we're gonna run 5th edition. Hey Butterfly, how you been? CTS Samurai. PvP in an actual tabletop game can get old pretty fast, but hey Greg, first time catching the stream live. I don't know. It never felt old in that vampire game. It felt very fucking for real. It was extremely intense table to play at, like with people like yeah, it was intense. It was intense. It's like there was times when like, oh shit, this is gonna turn into a real fight. Like it was not a healthy, maybe not a healthy role playing environment. My current D&D character is a tavern owner who decided to join the party when they came together in his bar. That's a great character. I love that. You know what? Fuck this. I'm pulling up stakes and going with you boys. I love that. Unless you are deliberately fucking up someone's campaign, you can't mess it up. You just add to the chaos. Yeah. Mike had a great story about that. Who is, I mean, like I said, he's streaming his game right now, but not D&D. He's streaming, like I said, Imperator Rome, where he he wanted to be a necromancer, and they were doing, I think it was Temple of Elemental Evil, and it was like they were at the mouth of the temple, and he's like, okay, hang on a second, I forget, they were starting at some advanced level. He says, there's a town nearby, right? Yes, with a like I never ran Temple of Elemental. Basically, long story short, before ever entering the dungeon, he was like, I'm going to go to the cemetery and raise all the skeletons from it. And the storyteller, the DM, was basically like, get out of my game. Like, I don't like the way you're playing. Like, fuck you. And I was like, man, I wouldn't know. I've never played GURPS. GURPS is a system I've never touched. So just to bring you guys up to speed on what I'm doing here, and let me throw up some apps. And did I not install WonderDraft on this computer? Oh, I didn't. But you know what? It doesn't matter because so I used WonderDraft to create an overmap. Let's put on my. Oh, am I not streaming from this computer? I am. Yeah, let's go to Mac desktop. Okay. So just to show you guys really quickly here, where is my D&D folder? Here it is, maps. Okay. So this is the world map I built, and it's intentionally not complete. It is not a complete world. As a matter of fact, if it were, there wouldn't just be like a cut off continent here. It's a piece of a planet, right? And I built this in a program called WonderDraft, which I really like. And I understand that they are coming out with something called Dungeon Draft, which is what we're going to get to in a second. But it's not ready for Mac. They don't have a Mac version yet. You know what, Panda Smasher? I don't know that I've ever drank limoncello. I don't know that I have. I really feel like I should do something with that. Anyway, so WonderDraft is pretty cool. And I did this up with very little practice, honestly. And what I know about the setting is this is a homebrew setting, and I can tell you more about it if you want, but I am still kind of, for me, there's a lot of variables here. I haven't made too many decisions, and a lot of my decisions are going to be made by player actions. And if I do it right, they will think that that was what I had decided all along. I don't know what that... Oh, good God, why would you let me do that? What the hell? Okay. And so I don't know how much my mouse is showing up. It's pretty small. I should see if I can get like a bigger pointer thing, but you can see it, I guess. You use Asgar's fantasy map making generator. Dane DeVito would be upset. What would he be upset about? Oh, that I don't have limoncello. Yeah, maybe. For Pride this year, we've talked about doing that, Loon Shy. Yeah. We just missed it last year. We should look into doing it now. Um, okay, so this was again. Somebody just asked again. Wonder Draft, which I just got this computer, so I haven't installed it yet because I haven't had a reason to. I guess I could remote into my other computer and pull up the thing. Um, anyway, so this is Wonder Draft. It's great. It comes with some assets, but I guess you can get more. Honestly, what was came with is fine. So our players actually started in our first session, a few sessions back. We're going to be doing our fourth session, I think, here in a copper mine. They were slaves on a chain gang, their first day having been sold into slavery, and they happen to have you here, Kyle. Kyle, the Rhodes. Kyle the Rhodes. And they were informed by an older woman on the chain gang, we are breaking out tomorrow, and I hope we don't have to kill you. So they busted out, and now they are free. And the 30 or so folk who were on the chain with them have broken up into smaller parties and have gone their disparate ways so as to not draw too much attention. The players, having very little connection to what's going on around here, are planning to make their way to Nulmus, which they know only is a big city that is supposedly outlawed slavery. There's some regional stuff at play here. Regionally, this area from here to here is an empire, the Drut Empire. And then this area around the southern bay is a distinct culture, the Bay people. I'm working on some details about that, but basically it's a ringed city-state, a lot of sailing and stuff like that. And then this whole area, this Velt, is largely desert, which is not super reflected here, but and very dry, arid scrub and grassland, and it is There's no real central power here. These are independent city states with wilderness between them. Certainly more because you can see that's 200 miles, and like 200 miles is a huge distance in a. I didn't draw any of this. This is all. These were all using elements from Wonder Draft, built into Wonder Draft. I did not import any new elements for this component of it. There's another thing I drew in here that I did use some other elements for. And then culturally, there's like distinct cultures, human cultures. Like the Drot culture is a culture. This area is a culture. And then the Velt is a culture. But then Nulmus is its own culture because Nulmus is a very old city-state that has been around a long time. I'm drawing a lot from three sources, really, honestly, or four sources, I should say, like the classical period of Earth, the Old Testament, ancient Greece, and earlier, ancient Babylon, really, Babylon, Assyria, the Fertile Crescent. I'm drawing on what I know, which isn't that much, but what I know about from Conan the Barbarian, and I am drawing on Dark Sun, although we're not using a ton from Dark Sun, just the core concept of it being kind of, Dark Sun was sort of the Conan the Barbarian setting, right? Like, does roleplay is a must to play D&D? Music Soul, that's a question that goes deep. Does roleplay is a must to play D&D? Don't know what that means. Like, Dark Sun has that whole thing with the halflings having like destroyed the world and everything like that. I'm not that interested in like a halfling apocalypse or anything like that. The new PC is dope, but it's actually not that new anymore. I've had it for several months. That episode was shot ages ago. So it's very low fantasy setting, low magic as well, and we'll come to that in a minute. This might be something we might work on tonight. But what I really need to solve tonight is dungeon mapping. So, and then this is Quom, the world, and then I also made an insert of, hold on. This is the punch in of the Goodwell area. This is the copper mine that they left from Goodwell, and this river is where they're planning probably to head. And then they were picked up. They were basically given a go fetch by the one. Goodwell is an incredibly impoverished town. It is a town of simple goat herds and very small farms. There's no industry there, just goat herding, some cheese making, and some very limited farming, kind of a subsistence community. The only reason that it exists, honestly, and this is a lot of stuff I think about, is because a particular nobleman, a Drosian nobleman, decided to put an estate there because he likes the water. He thinks that the water is good for his health, and also because he can grow olives there, and he has a olive plantation, and he loves olives. He is this wealthy dude who has a private guard force, which of course extends a kind of radius of stability around him just by its existence, and that permits a city or a small town to kind of crop up. That is sort of just reality. The town does not have enough money to really arm itself or protect itself from anybody, but the fact that a wealthy benefactor needs to protect himself, that'll work. That'll work. Right, that just sort of it creates sort of space in an otherwise dangerous landscape for a community, a small community, to crop up. Anyway, and so what is this? Is this dungeon template? No, yeah, I know what that is. I'll show you that in a second. I made that, and then this is a punch in of the town of Goodwill. So these are I'm not Goodwill. I'm not very good at drawing. This is one of the things I want to solve. I'm not good at these kinds of maps yet. So these are little assets I found for free online. These little buildings. Let's actually punch it in. I'll just give you a quick layout of Goodwill. It's called Goodwill because there was a good well there in an otherwise dry place. So it's situated between these two kind of mesas or buttes. They're not very high, maybe 50 feet, 60 feet high. Certainly you could walk up them. They're not like, Monument Valley or anything like that. But, think of this like a dried riverbed almost, right? Maybe an ancient riverbed. And the town is mostly here. And the players first arrive pre-dawn at Hiva's place, which was a tavern. And it's a stone-walled outside, which is half tall. It's like sunken into the ground. Oh, the map of Quome? It only took a few hours, honestly, using WonderDraft. And that's only because I was like, I'm not good at it. If I was better at it, you could do it much quicker. So Hiva takes pity on them and says, some people have left clothes in the back. Why don't you find some clothes? Because they literally crawled out of this copper mine like in loincloths and with nothing. There's a livery. There's a dairy where cheese is made. There are some market stalls. These are sort of houses and huts sort of arrayed where people live when they're in town, but they're often empty because the goat herds don't really stay in town that much. There is a grain mill. Now, the grain mill itself, this is something the players figured out, is much older than the surrounding town. The grain mill predates the town quite a bit. It's I could just tell by the way it was built. And then these are grain silos. And then there's a huge casino. I mean, it's a big tavern where they have cockfighting and a brothel called the Stone and Spear, which is up here. And then it's not really like the family joint that Hiva's places. And then this is the Lutnum estate, where he has his guardhouse, his own personal stable, his manse, and a lot of figs, dates, and mostly olives that he grows. And he seems to be a nice guy. He's also a collector of art and antiques, particularly antique art. And so when he meets the players, he sees these are people that look like they need to make a buck. They're down on their luck, and they also look resourceful. And he always likes to bring in outsiders. As one of the questions I asked, well, why us? Why would you ask us this? He's like, well, I can't send my guard, really, because I need them here. The town would be powerless without my guard. He has a very limited guard. We're talking about like 10 or 15 soldiers. I can't hire anybody in town. They all have jobs to do. There's a local economy here that I would disrupt. But you're an outsider, and I can I could ask you guys to do this, and it might be even a good deal for you. I can pay you handsomely. And they're off to collect an ancient Kuatoan fertility idol. It's a lead jolly man with ears ringed in penises, because I was improvising and that's what came out of my mouth. But he's a little fertility idol, and if you look at like ancient, fertility idols, that's kind of what they look like. They're either covered in penises or covered in boobs, one of the two things, right? The Romans used to put a yard penis out in front of the house. You know what that? Yeah. Some certain Roman places, they would have like in the garden in front of the house, they'd have like, stick a penis out there, like a stone penis right in the middle of the front yard. There's some conjecture about whether or not it was ever utilized. That's one of my favorite things too. There was like this is some anthropologist. They were looking at these. They kept finding these like curved, really smooth, either polished wood or stone, things, and like all of these anthropologists were like couldn't figure out what it was, and like the general conjecture was it's a spear straightener. I don't know much about spears, but like obviously like this is for straightening spears. These ancient people had spears. They needed to straighten them at some point. They became warped. I don't know. And you would straighten it using this thing. And then like there's like, it's a man's world. And then finally they had some female anthropologist who looked at it. She's like, that's a dildo. And that kind of ran afoul of like this idea of the noble savages who don't, who have no, desires, what I'm saying. Anyway, let's move my face a little bit. Let's move my face a little bit. So, okay, so that's Goodwill. And so he sends them to, where's that Goodwill area? Insert. Nope, not that. And he sends them 3 days travel north to the ruins, which he says are in ancient Khoton ruins. You wanted to play D&D for a bit and you have no idea what you're doing, King Colgate. All right. It's a thing you can get into. I mean, there's a lot of games online these days, which is new to me. So that's mostly what I can tell you about the setting. The other thing I did was, because I'm this kind of a nut, I signed up for this website called Vulgar. I was just going to give you guys like the lay of the land as far as what world building I've done so far. Vulgar Lang. And I have a login, and I'm hoping this is my password. Otherwise, oh, you know what? I think I did actually run that through 1Password. Okay. Not now, thank you, but yes, remember me. Well, I think it's a good idea to leave some blanks in there because it allows you to let the players make some decisions and, anyway, it's neat. So Vulgar is an amazing tool. It's way over the top. It's way, way further than you need to go, but, I just thought it was cool. So it just randomly generated the jet language of Yarwedian, and it is a functioning language. I have an account, so I've generated an alphabet automatically of like 4,000 or 8,000 words. It has an entire section on grammar. It can tell you things that I don't even know what to do with this. Like this is a full-blown language, right? Like a language. But for me, just using the translator, right? Like, so if I wanted to make a Yarwedian person, and I think about like, well, how do people end up with surnames, right? Like, well, a Miller, so-and-so's a Miller. That might be a person's last name, Miller. So what does Miller translate? So in this language, it's not in the Latin dictionary about grain. Check this out, doer, and then you look mill. Oh wait, no, you do. That's a affix. Mill doer. Translate. Ame. Okay. Oh, really? Is my screen froze? Weird. Oh, yeah, OBS crashed. Sorry, guys. Stand by. Okay. It'll pick up in a moment. There we go. I don't know why that would happen. So, anyway, so this is, let's start this over. We'll do a new language. Generate a new language. And I set no rules. So, I just made a new language, Radan. Okay, so this is the new language of Radan. This is Vulgar. Way more than you need to know. And like I said, it has all of these things in here that go way beyond what I would need as a dungeon master for my purposes. But if you wanted to have, you start giving things names, and for me, it's like, well, how do I make it so it's not Latin based? Because that's what my brain is going to go to. How do I make it so it's not Greek or not, you know what I mean? Like, how do I make it feel other? And so just by having access to some languages that I can say, this region would draw on this language, and then I have to name a character. And I just said that, well, like, how does somebody get a surname? Usually it's a lot of times it's jobs your family had, right? And so the question is, so if you were a Miller, the way linguistically that would work is it would be to mill, right? So mill, doer, and that will apply the affix of a person who does. And it tells us in this language that is eknosap. 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 Eknoskap. Eknoskap. So, apparently first names are, I was talking to Mike about this. He has some background on this. Or it could be active too, actually. It could be mill. Active. To mill would be pusap. Right? About jewelry to create. Maybe we have to put it to create first. So this language has no word for jewelry. So anyway, what I did was I created 4 distinct languages using, you can set rules when you create a language. So I can set like, well, I want to use specific consonants or whatever. And I just basically took 4 languages, randomly generated, but based off of rules of actual languages that exist on Earth, because otherwise I would be really lost when trying to pronounce them. And like a lot of the stuff that it will randomly generate, if you don't set some kind of controls, ends up sounding like something only an insect could speak. It's all like clicks and pops and shit. So I made these 4 main languages: Bedsai, Drati, Droti, Dreshi, Drot, Nulmasian, and Bedsai. And so culturally, these are the Droshians, these are the Draecians. This region is mostly Bedsai, and then the Nulmas area is up here. OBS quit again. Weird. Oh no, it's just letting me know that it quit about an hour later. Cool. Yeah, Thrycreen speech. Yeah, well, so and then that's why I have those secondary languages. These were unrestrained. These are just complete crazy languages. I don't know if I'll end up using them. And the way that this works is this is just a text file that I can then upload back into Vulgar if I need access to it again. Unfortunately, that's just the way it works. Okay, way over the top, right? If I'm not mistaken, Drot was based on Russian. Nolmas is based off of Hebrew. Bedsai was based off of German, believe it or not, even though it sounds Arabic or something, Bedsai. And then Thracians, this is Latin. This is based off of Latin. Does OBS get unemployment now? Oh, I get it. Ha ha ha. What are you drinking tonight? I'm not drinking anything right now. I was thinking about having a Manhattan before, or actually just a cup of tea. The thing is, I gotta watch my caloric intake. Maybe I should have a glass of water or a seltzer. I have a little bit of a weight problem to begin with, but what do you call it? Blah. I can't speak for some reason. Oh, Premiere Pro is open. We don't need this open. That's hogging up some resource. Yeah, just quit, man. Force quit. I can't think right now. The quarantine has not been super great for my physique. Okay, so the next thing we had to solve is dungeon mapping, which is what I'm actually kind of working on tonight. So what I made, last time we ran our game, I had decided to switch to running the game on a different virtual tabletop. Now, I'd been planning to do my D&D game live streaming on Twitch here from the table with all the people in the same room. That is now impossible because of mandatory social distancing. So we've been doing it over the internet, which I'm not a huge fan of, but we're getting better at it. It does suck. I wish we could be all in the same room, but it is what it is. I can't. I cannot believe there's 168 people watching me talk right now. That is fucking out of control. Thank you guys all for being here. So we're doing it over the internet, which means that I'd figured out all of the technology that I needed to for running this game at a table. And I was going to use a digital map. I was going to use this software called Dungeon Fog, which I really like for that. And it's built for that. It's built for using a digital battle mat with people sitting around it physically in the room. We last minute jumped into running this game over the internet, over Discord and onto Twitch, of course, and I used that Dungeon Fog over the internet, and it's just not engineered for it. It is a nightmare to run it as a virtual tabletop over the internet. I'm glad we didn't have to run any combat that session, because it would have been extremely unfun. So between sessions, I did some hunting around to find a new virtual tabletop system. I looked at Fantasy Grounds. I looked at Roll20. After kind of poking around with them and being like, well, I'm starting from scratch. Doom was inspired by a D&D campaign that spiraled out of control. That's funny. I didn't know that. But anyway, I found this thing called Foundry Virtual Tabletop, which was still in beta, and it's coming out of beta now next month, but you can get access to it on the Patreon now. But I think in this month, if I'm not mistaken, it goes live for real public. Thank you, Matt Moose. And so Foundry Virtual Tabletop is really cool. It is a one-time purchase. I agree to these terms. Agree. I completely agreed. I agree. I agree. Great. Cool. Let's try that again. I agree. You mean like a camera? What camera do I use for video streaming, or software? I'm using OBS for software. The camera is it's a Lumix GH5S that you're looking at right now. Okay, so... Oh, good. I was worried it lost my world. The people our video chat for the stream is Discord. Everybody keeps telling me it's the best option. I really wish it was better, but I think really I just wish that the cameras and microphones my players had were better. So I've been purchasing them cameras and microphones and sending them to them in the mail. So hopefully each week we're going to get a little bit better. So this is my world I built for Quom. Now what's really neat is that this is actually a server. So when I hit launch, it's going to launch my server, and I can join it as my game master, right? But in actuality, I shouldn't join it at all. Hold on, guys. I don't know what is fucking up here with OBS. Why is it doing this to me? Okay, first things first, let's not have this be full screen. So the server is now running for this. And what I actually want to do is enter the server from a browser. OBS, did it quit again? Oh shit. Okay. This is a bummer. Well, it looks like... Damn. Don't worry about it. We're not going to talk about... We're going to skip talking about Foundry Virtual Tabletop today because... I mean, not like much... Not expensive Arthur X Medic music, but like, you know, a little bit better. So I had some C920s lying around that I stuck in the mail and sent over, and then the microphones are like $40 mics, so like it's not a huge investment. But have you looked at the Tabletop Simulator? Yeah, not really. Trust me, I don't need another one. Foundry, yeah, it's Foundry is interfering with it. Foundry, the server. I don't know enough about IT, but it's a server, and so it's forcing. It's probably OBS is transmitting. This is not my stream. This is literally just transmitting this desktop across my local network to another computer that is actually sending the stream, which I assume is conflicting somehow with the server for Foundry Virtual Tabletop. So, and then what I do, I mean, I guess I could show you setup. So this is going to be really weird because there's going to be a window, but this is literally my setup for OBS. So this is a remote desktop into my other computer that handles OBS. It's like my oldest, most piece of shit computer. And you can see I can move me around here. This is going to be really weird. Look at all that. Isn't that fun? And this is how I switch scenes. So you will probably... Oh, yeah. Well, so like D&D Combat, D&D Talk. If I go to D&D Talk, what it does is, and this is going to look really insane, it's capturing an entire window of my desktop and slicing it up into 6 individual panels that line up with the way that Discord sets up our 6 cameras so that everybody is in their own panel that I can move it around. Without the Discord thing open behind here, this is crazy, but with the Discord thing open behind here, it makes perfect sense. And then if we go to combat, it's the same thing, but then it's got a web browser in the middle that's going to be, it captures Foundry Virtual Tabletop. But I can set this up any way I want, right? So, and then I call this confessional, which is just me. I don't know why, but really it should actually be this scene. Okay, my hair is looking super cool. I'm glad I don't have a hair light behind me because I didn't put any product in it. There like a lot of little blue flashes in my camera, like around my head. Do you guys see that? Am I crazy? I think I have like little blue flashes, right? Okay, so you don't see that? Oh, okay. No, it's just, it must be something in my monitor or something. So that is, well, they shouldn't be pulsing. That's the thing is, that's probably the camera actually. Let me see something here. Linux tether. The camera feeds HDMI to that computer, but it feeds USB to this computer so that I can control camera settings locally. Hi. Oh, right. We want to be on game cam anyway, so you can actually see my... Oh, no. You want to be on Mac desktop. Sorry. Okay, now you can actually see what I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't know. It's nothing. So anyway... That's smoothie crazy. Cool. Foundry Virtual Tabletop is amazing. It's actually amazing. And there's some people doing some really neat stuff with it right now. Where like, because it's a server that anybody can pop into and out of, like people are just like running virtual chat rooms. Like I built a bar and I'm letting people come hang out in my virtual chat room on Foundry. When did I do the COD video? It was a couple months ago, man. That was with a full crew. We can't shoot that way right now. Okay, so what I needed to figure out, though, is what I wanted to show you is how Foundry Virtual Tabletop works. Basically, it's not really a design program. You know, like you could do some design work in there, but it's really not built for it. In a pitch, you could draw some lines and stuff like that, or have tiles that you stamp and repeat. But really, like, ideally, you should design your dungeon, your encounter map, in something built for that. Import it to Foundry Virtual Tabletop. Tell Foundry where are the walls, where are the doors, where are the secrets, that kind of stuff, where are the light sources, and then put your player tokens into it. So I needed to design maps for the game, and I very quickly, like the morning that we were going to start to play, basically built this Photoshop template. And the way that this works, which I'm pretty pleased with, my Wacom broke, is so I have a couple different interdependent layers here. This is going to work great for, which layer do I want to? Tunnel. Hang on. Am I crazy? Or do I, maybe I just was using eraser. I built it a couple different ways, but I forget now how I did this. I think this is what I should do, right? Shit, I don't know why it's not working now. Oh, because my brush is really soft when it should be super hard. Oh, I know why. Because I built a custom brush. I'm like, what is going on here? Here we go. So, and I got this advice from I forget his name, but he did a YouTube video. Basically build a brush that looks like rock, and then you can I know why. Because I have flow set to 1% because my pen broke. Cool, right? Watch this, though. If we set the brush to shape dynamics and we want to do angle jitter, like, 30%, size jitter by like 30-ish%, roundness jitter by like 30%. Now, and then look, I built a grid, that's a 1-inch grid. We set this to be, a little less than that. Now, we can rapidly carve these tunnels. Although that's not looking quite right, because the way I was doing it before, maybe I didn't, oh shit. Maybe it was like this. Maybe I was using that brush on an eraser? Possible. Hang on. Let me open up one of my existing ones because this is kind of freaking me out. Didn't save them as PSDs? Yes, I did. Right, so where did I put my paint tunnel copy? So I have some shadowing and stuff like that set up here. And if I take a brush, because this group is locked, well, let's unlock it. Unlock, please, thank you. Cool. So now what happens is I can carve tunnels right into here. And I could change the way the floor looks by replacing this, and I could change the way the walls look by replacing this, the step and repeat graphic, but, oh. It's over there. Why is that? The hell did I just do? Oh, because I'm on the wrong layer. That's why. Yeah. So I can build all these tunnels, and if I needed to, I could go ahead and paint, just like literally paint on top of this layer. Unlock it. I call it the water layer. It was like, oh yeah, that's water in there. And it actually works pretty good. It's not the greatest, but it worked pretty good. And then a couple of these things are just like PNGs that I found that were available for free, and I stamped them in there so that I would have them. And then I take this and import it into Foundry Virtual Tabletop. Tell it this is a wall, this is a door, wall, secrets, things like that. And it's good for dungeons. Like this setup worked pretty good for making dungeons. But if I wanted to make buildings, if I wanted to have more flexibility than this, I decided, and honestly, there's so much effort for me because I'm not super good at Photoshop. I would just barely pulled this off the day we were shooting the last session. I was like, maybe there are some purpose-built dungeon painters that'll work on a map. And I found 2 that I wanted to test out, and that's what I'm going to do right now, Mapforge and Dungeony. So let's just take a look at these and see if they do what I want, and they do it fast enough that I like them. I got the munchies, man. I'm hungry. Which is crazy, because I had like 8 slices of pizza tonight. You know what? I'm gonna grab myself a seltzer. Hang on a second. We had some spindrifts, these lemon spindrifts left over from the previous shoot. So let's take a look at. Well, there's a little fridge in there. When I opened it, all the stuff in it rattled. All right, so applications. That was, what was that? Map Forge? Yeah. Let's open it up and see what it. Oh, that means it doesn't want to run on this computer. Okay. Cool. So it's not compatible with this computer. So that one's kind of ruled out. Let's try Dungeony. Okay, so these are both PowerPC programs. They haven't been updated in a while. I guess those aren't going to work. Taste notes for seltzer. It is seltzer with a little lemon in it. That's all it is. It just tastes like lemony seltzer. So what I can do, let's see how we like this, because I can use. I already paid for Dungeon Fog. How do I make it stop doing this? Alright, I don't know why OBS keeps quitting. It's really frustrating. You know what? I have a funny feeling I know why. Oh, that's fine. So, well, doesn't make a difference. Oh, Mike. Can you do maps in World Anvil, Mike? So Shamsail, who is a moderator and chatting right now, is the guy I was talking about who just ended his stream. I guess he was playing Imperator Rome. You guys could give him a follow. He is new, so go easy. But you can do maps here pretty. Imperator. Sorry. Imperator. I apologize, Mike. I apologize. Twitch mapping. Dotted rectangle is fine. Yeah. Like it doesn't. Oh. I don't know. Like 40 by 40. That's probably right to make as a standard. So made a grid. I'm not. I just don't find this to be. I like this app. And some things about it are great. Like if I wanted to make, floor. Yeah, let's set the wall. Be wood. Worked wood. Scratched wood. And the floor can be like uneven wooden tile. Sure. So what I like about it is like that I could just do 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet. 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Boom. And like I have created a room, and then if I wanted to jam a door on it. But I think what's annoying is that like there are so many things that I have to go through. Just get to, like a door. OBS broke again? Why? Actually, it didn't break. That doesn't make any sense though. Like it definitely says it's working. Huh. Maybe it stopped working on this computer. Okay. You got me, man. Right. So what I was just saying is that it just takes so many clicks to get to some stuff, but like it is great that like you can just be like, I need a building, and you can change. I'd be like, yeah, actually, I want the floors to be, a different kind of wood, or the walls to be a different kind of wood, And then you can throw in a door. Don't know how to get it to reverse. Just put wooden door anyway, really. Because it'll open and close in VTT. It won't open and close here. And then, okay, no, what if I need windows? I don't even know where they would be. I think they're actually considered furniture. I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's just like it's a little bit slow. Thank you, Toboggan. But I guess I could use this to do a lot of things that are not physical dungeons. If I wanted to change the floor, because like the ground is kind of wrong, like we would never have. There you go. Something like that would be better for this setting, or at least. I guess you have metal floors and like do sci-fi stuff. And then I guess there's like how does the layering system work? I don't know. Yeah, it's weird because like the way this is built, it's like it recognizes rooms as like as like things, as modules. Um, you can set up lighting, but actually I'm letting VTT handle all of that for various reasons. You could print them out and play with minis, but honestly, I have a TV that I'm going to lay on its back and we're going to play digitally because it's easier for me. It's easier for me then to also stream it. Like I just I just feed the stream source into a browser and I can put it into OBS for the map rather than having to have a camera pointed at it and it never really works great. Um, is the PC D&D different from the board game? There is no such thing as PC D&D. You're just playing a board game over a computer with friends. I guess there are games like Baldur's Gate is a D&D campaign designed for a single player to play. Did Mike split? No, he's still here. Or maybe he's still here. I don't know. Yeah, he's still here. PC. Politically correct D&D. I guess I'll probably just use this. I was hoping for something that was like a little bit... I just find this to be a little bit slow. I don't know why. Maybe I just have... it's just a seltzer. It's a seltzer. It's a Spindrift seltzer. Can I just like paint snow on the ground using that? Is that how that works? I don't know. Oh. Oh, it's like a fill. Okay. Interesting. So I have a PC sponsored by Ironside, so my most recent YouTube video showed that. I guess I could, because there's a lot of good map making software that is PC exclusive. I guess I could use that. Um, whoa, Doc. Oh man. That's kind of amazing, Doc. What's Tailspire? So just because I like Wonderdraft so much, if I was gonna fire up the PC, I guess we could. I don't like the idea of having to turn on a computer I don't normally. Oh, weird. It's 3D. Oh man, that's weird. Damn, and it really looks like minis. No, I don't know. I wouldn't trust it because it would be. Man. I'm just assuming that it would require. I haven't played D&D with my kid yet. No, she's 3, man. I mean, I don't think she's. A Stein video work. Okay.
Aha, my mail! I've been waiting weeks for this. It's just not the same. In the days of old, my friends and I would gather around a table. And play by mail just isn't cutting it. And the last thing I need is some computer program concerned with being a well-functioning...
Okay, I don't mean this as an insult, but this man was created by Jim Henson.
Table. It's not about the table, it's about the people and the worlds of imagination that spring to life between them. It's not a table that we need a playfield. A place that is ready to support the imagination, that rises up to meet it. A place without edges that constrain your fantasies, and flexibility enough to represent your ideas, even as you have them. Above all, we need a place of authenticity, where camaraderie and adventure may be fostered. No table can hold that. No table ever could. There is a spirit to tabletop games.
It certainly looks very cool. I mean, I can't attest to how it actually operates. What is knock? Just curiosity. Where is knock? New Zealand, right? Oh, Norwegian. Okay.
Know how to build it. So all we need at this stage is your help, and we can have this thing in your hand really soon.
That's cool. I have to say I'm super pleased with Foundry. I really want to try Dungeon Draft, though. I guess... It is coming to Mac at some point. So I guess it wouldn't be crazy to run it on a PC now. Is it downloadable? You buy it. Yeah. Do I want to fire up the PC every time I need to make a map, though? That's the real hitch. Like, my work is all right here. I really want to... I don't know. Now let's do a search real quick if there's any other options. The two that look most promising don't run on modern Macintoshes. Oh boy. Macintosh Dungeon Design software. MapForge. Dungeon Painter Studio is PC. Nah, I don't want to deal with that Shammy Mike. I just don't want to. I feel like it destabilizes the system I edit on this. It's like, I'm not going to fuck around with it. Oh, Incarnate. I'd heard about Incarnate. But so with this, I've heard that you can do Dungeon Painter online. Oh god, it's Flash-based. Yeah, no wonder it's terrible. And otherwise, this is PC only. I've heard that the online version is like not good. And MapForge. Y'all got... Oh, look at that. That's me. Y'all got a website on this? Didn't I download it? Wait, isn't this one of the ones we just tried? Are we like are we chasing our tail right now? I think we are. I think it was Dungeonia and Mapforge were the two I downloaded, and this one does not work on my Mac. I see Insane Clown Posse RPG. What is this? I see RPG. Oh wait, no. Was ist das? What am I looking at? Oh, wait, it's a different paradigm for RPGs. Interesting. How the game works. Hmm. Huh. Oh, so it's a narrative system. You're always pushing these narrative systems, Mike. I don't know, man. I don't think I'm a narrative system convert. I don't think I can go there. I am pup, but like it's not my main computer. I turn it on when I want to play a game. It's over here, and when I'm working, I'm on this Mac. I don't work from the PC. So it's like I could have this one piece of like design software that I've got to fire up every time I need to like the PC for, but I did SVC cheats, SV cheats too. The after hours machine is working quite dopely. Nightcap was we made the nightcap for as a drink. You're paying more or less for a one-trick pony. I don't follow. Is that directed at me? The one saving grace here, though, is that Dungeon Draft is coming to PC. They're pretty blatant about this. I really like what I'm seeing happen here and like how this works. It looks quite excellent. Oh, yeah, I agree, Quackers. I like that it's a separate computer for gaming because a lot of times this machine is rendering or something and I can't really play games on it. I mean, that's the one thing though, is that, like, I guess I could run this on the PC until they port it, which they say they will do. And then, you know, fine. It's not forever. That animated water and everything, that's so sick. It's so sick. Right? Like, this looks really cool. No. So this is a common misnomer. Graphics cards, I mean, like, I know editors who don't realize this, but like your GPU is used almost never by Premiere Pro. Like, if you watch it work, it doesn't work. It does nothing. It's doing nothing. There are a handful of scenarios and effects that are GPU accelerated. But actually, exporting your timeline is certainly not one of them. It's entirely dependent on the CPU. So actually, the fancy badass gaming computer exported exactly as fast as my old iMac, not even the current one that I'm on right now. So yeah, like that's true. If I was doing 3D animation, is this your only cool project right now? Excuse me? What does that mean? That feels like a threat. Or I don't know. That feels like a dick. Is this the only cool thing you're up to? Whatever's. So yeah, the graphics card really does not do much with it. Fiasco. Why do I know that name? What about my Call of Duty stream? You want me to play Call of Duty now? I like Fate. Fate was as narrative as I would go for a role-playing game. I mean, I don't know. There's some stuff where it's just, a lot of the narrative RPGs just become, and Mike's gonna argue with me because he's not gonna. They become too abstract for me to get into it. Some of the systems, it's like too weird. Well, yeah. So 3D modeling, yes, 3D modeling is different. There's ray tracing. There's like a whole different process there, and that does typically, that does really make a lot of use of. I am not a World of Warcraft guy. That does make a hell of a lot of use of the GPU. But editing like a 4K, 6K, whatever, 8K timeline on Premiere Pro, like your GPU does nothing. It's just there. There's like a couple of effects that are GPU accelerated, like certain blurs and stuff like that can use a little bit of the GPU. But I mean, like at that point, yeah, never mind. I played WoW for a minute when it came out, and I wasn't. It just, I guess, I don't know. It wore thin on me in a couple of months, but no, I'm not like into MMOs. It turns out. But this dungeon draft looks good enough and fast enough that. Do I use it for anything other than making orgeat and grenadine? Well, orgeat and grenadine are very important uses for them. But I also use it there's a drink called a Ramos Gin Fizz that requires orange flower water. And honestly, I'm sure I've used a few drops of orange blossom water, rose water not so much, but orange blossom water a few times in various cocktails. But I couldn't tell you which off the top of my head. Honestly, it's kind of all a blur at this point. But yes, orange blossom water is pretty neat stuff. The rose water, not as a fan of. If you didn't have to edit videos, would you use a Mac or Windows? What am I doing with the computer then? Like, what am I doing with it at all if I'm not editing videos? Am I just playing games? Then I just want a Mac. I just want a PC for sure. What is this, Mike? You're sending me to 4chan? Oh, no, it's 1D4chan. Jesus. Iguasuden Laco. Eternity is a place where penguins go to die? The endless glacier of Antarctica's merciless enemy. Only the bravest of penguin heroes and most malicious anti-penguins can survive it. A penguin hero lives his life in solitude. You've seen things a common penguin can't even. No. Why do you have this book? Oh my god. Philosophy. Made for one shots. Wow. It's that being what your society needs and how that ostracizes you. How people we rely on can't ever come home. Damn, son. Heavy shit. I dig that. All right. I think we're going to do this. I think we're going to buy this program. I'm going to turn on the PC and I'm going to install it right now. So I'm going to go push the button that makes that thing turn on. And it might come through on the mic. The fan, I'm climbing out of a blanket right now, by the way, in case you're wondering. I'm not taking off my pants. The fan makes a pretty wicked clicking noise when it first fires up. I haven't brought that up, so if you're going to hear that, it's not usually something that's on the stream. All right. And then I want to buy this piece of soft. Oh, my mouse. All right. When I do that, it takes over my KVM. $20. $20. Will you guys sit tight while I go make a cup of tea and grab some cookies? Because it looks like we're going to be here for a few minutes, and I also have to dig out my wallet. You could hang. I'll be right back. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. Not 10 minutes. And also, forgive me, but Greg must push the add button, or this is my life. My only income. Alright guys, I'll be right back. Give me a couple. I return. Sorry about the delay, guys. Alright. And then... Okay, cool. We are... Dungeon Draft is running. Here it is. Okay, good to know. Don't care. Thank you. But really quickly, I need to make some arrangement stuff here. So I can see the chat room and everything, because this is all a little bit of a mess. Leave. Okay. So Dungeon Draft it's in beta, and it is a dungeon designing program made by, I don't need these headphones on actually, what the heck am I wearing them for? Made by the guys who made the guy who made Wonder Draft. So it is Wonder Draft's answer for dungeon mapping, and I used Wonder Draft for my world map. And the little film we just watched all about Dungeon Draft showed so much promise that I was willing to commit for the time being to designing dungeon maps on the, quote, wrong computer. So I rearrange my desk here a little bit. Because I usually do all of that kind of stuff, work, on a Mac. And I would like to keep it that way. But Dungeon Draft looked really cool. And they are promising a Mac version, and they have a Mac version of Wonder Draft, so I have no reason to suspect that that won't be the case. So, one thing I hate about PCs is that this is always here. Why is this always here? This is a bit of English breakfast with a drop of milk and a couple of sugar cubes. So let's take a look. Let's do menu preferences. Number of maximum. Okay. Close. Edit object tags, user profile, exit preferences. Sure. Let's just do a new. Oh, interesting. Map size 35 by 20. I mean, I think a 35. I just think squares are easier to work with. Let's just go 40 by 40. If I picked a template, like if I go 40, oh, interesting. Look at that. Alright, well, let's just not do that, though. We'll just use our own numbers here. 40. 40. Or map wizard, sure, whatever. Okay. Okay, control is zoom. Spacebar. Oh, that's interesting. Spacebar moves you around right there. It's not like spacebar click, it's just spacebar. Oh, that's neat. These are some Joe-Os. There's a generator. Huh. Oh, look at that. What's that about? Oh, as in don't move that. I don't know what eclipse phase is. I don't know what the hell. I gotta look up Dalgona. I don't know what that is. It's pretty cool. Alright, but let's say we wanted to start from. What if I went to cave? Wow. Shit. Alright, let's go new. Okay. Can I just paint? Try new. Do not start with Map Wizard. Got it. Well, what if I wanted to? Whoa! That's pretty cool. Huh. You can do curves. And what does control do? Okay, how about alt? No. Shift does curves, which is really spiffy. Alright, control Z. Is there like a help? Menu? It is nothing in there. Cool. Over, under, edit points. Edit points, I see. Don't edit points. Wall. I don't know what that means. So what I saw though, oh, there's a cave brush. Neat. One of the normal. What does that mean? Normal. One of the things I thought was neat though was that floor shape tools. Oh, instead of doing walls, you can do a floor. Like, oh wow, just makes floor. Jeez, this is great though. I mean, what does alt do? I don't know what that means. And then look, you can do a round one. Oh my god, this is fucking cool. And then this what? Lets you do literally anything you want. Damn, that's fantastic. I mean, honest fictionalist, I believe you were describing crack. I want to add doors to it. There's a door. Oh, dude. Many different types of door. Door. Open. Okay. I hope you can rotate somehow, like by a key. Anchored or freestanding. Just build a freestanding door. Oh, cool. And then the mouse wheel does that. I have never played Shadowrun. And it's not like overkill. Like, there's enough block light. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I feel like... I really like... This is fucking sick. This is just fantastic, honestly. What does that do? Let's just make it some crazy color so we can see what that's affecting. Oh, it's the floor. That's a floor tint. Okay. Oh, and then these are floor patterns. Okay. But then, I don't know. This might be... We've encountered a bug. Okay, cool. Now if I take that floor pattern, can I then tint it? What? Dude. Fucking crazy. This is awesome. This is already fantastic. What's the pop culture drink for the show? A cup of tea. Oh. Next set of tools, terrain brush. How do you change your brush size? I mean, that looks good. The gravel is really good. It also could be like cobblestone street as well, I would say. Terrain brush is not... Oh, wow. What? Oh, interesting. Alright. Interesting. Intensity. Oh, I'm going to turn that down. Let's set gravel because we see that one. I don't really know what intensity is changing. Can I fill a room with gravel or no? Probably is a way to do it. Okay. A water brush. So it's weird. I mean, like, it's animated, but what's weird about that to me... Oh, that's so fucking crazy. What? Wow. It's really cool that it's animated, but I don't know how to make use of that in VTT. And I don't... Is this meant to be... I love that it built two different colors. I can just brush it in. It's just perfect. It's just so far it's perfect. Mike, I'm sure it does. I think you're right. And then we have material brush. So let's put lava everywhere. Or what is that supposed to be? Cobblestone tile. Golden tiles. I guess this must be like for like a dragon horde or something. Grass. Looks more like treetops, honestly, but there might be something else for that. I don't know why they're checked. Maybe they're downloading when I go to use them. Grass 2. Acid. Neat. Oh, wow, that's fantastic. My only complaint about it is, you know how the like for the rock and stuff like that. For these, it'd be great to be able to tint those, and when we had that with the floor, but not here. There's layers here. That's a factor. That's what those checks are. They're telling you what's present in that layer for some reason. I don't know why. Okay. Okay. Neat. What are they calling that? Log fence. Blood trail. Log fence. Shouldn't the wagon trail be doubled by default? Okay, whatever though. It's like obviously I can do that, but oh, you gotta have the fade in and fade out. Yeah, sure. I mean, it would be a broken map. There's water! There's lava! Piles of gold! It's crazy! There's no doors anywhere! And there's a mountain of doors over here! Hmm. Wow. Okay. Camera filter. Ooh. Oh, that's great. I have to say, the light looks sick. I know you can do that. Yeah, I can do that in VTT too. And that's the thing is, like with this, I would letting VTT handle all my lighting, so we won't fuck around with it here. But it does look lovely. Can I make it oscillate? Ooh, yeah. An alert level. Scatter tool. So like if I had fish, I just want to pile them up. Then really big fish. Just like a pile of really big fish. Oh yeah, cool. Oh, that's a range. Wow. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. Yeah. This is Dungeon Draft, and it's great. We're gonna make a stack of anvils over here. Follow the anvil trail. Oh wow. This is super cool. This is just fantastic. Now, why are they red? Why do, it feels like that's like not. What even is that thing? A pitcher. Hmm. Hmm. Thank you. Color bar, yes. Yep, that was doing it. It was great. Yeah, I mean, this is totally. I should look at some tutorials, but this is definitely worth the price of admission. Thank you for subscribing, Sims. Wow. Now, where's the eraser? That's what I want to know. There needs to be an eraser, right? I guess I can just do this. Ooh. Yeah, this is we're testing this out right now. Well, it seems like it's layered independent, but then there's no layer. How about what if we go here? Do I have to go through? and like Alt. Alt is the eraser. Except for there. And then that would be, those were done with terrain brush, which was this. And I'm going to assume that, again, Alt is erase. No? Water brush. Hold Alt is erase. Yeah. It's a, I guess it should have a unified eraser. That would be a thought that I would make. But, I mean, in truth, though, it probably doesn't necessarily need that because, like, we were just going bananas here. This is not my favorite part of the UI. It's definitely not the end of the world, though. I could definitely live with this. Are you telling me, though, that I have to go to below ground, pick... I guess that's cool. It should have some kind of, like, just God eraser. It needs that. Oh, wow, there's a lot of different terrain. Oh, I didn't realize that. Well, that's cool, too. There's, like, a lot of different stuff in there. Now, this doesn't have erase, so I'm not really sure how to get rid of those. Yes, Katana, that is the plan. I can export this to Foundry. That is correct. Let's do a new one. Discard. 40 by 40 is fine. So, I think what I would like is, I think we're going to have some real possibilities that the players, like I need some generic maps because the one thing I'm afraid of in moving to an online mode of play and using a virtual tabletop is that I can't, it's not easy to improvise for me. Like I have to, it is easy actually. I'm afraid that it won't be easy. And the one thing that is going to hitch me up is that I need to have some maps ready. I have to be a little bit. I have to be a little bit prepared with some generic maps in case I have an encounter. One that comes to mind is like, there's always camp encounters, right? Like I need a camp so that they can be snuck upon in the evening. So it's not a website. It is a downloadable program called Dungeon Draft. So what we need is events, objects, object tool. Search for can I just do like a search? Treasure, tree, water, thorn, table, structure, wood. Yeah. Oh, these are troughs. So these might be carts. I'm looking for a cart. Oh, cart. Duh. Thanks for coming by, Larix. Thank you. So let's say, like, we'll set this up, just thinking like Fallout 2. Random encounter. We'll have our cart here. Dungeon Draft. It's Dungeon Draft. It is in beta. You should download it. It's PC based. And we'll have do the path tool maybe. I don't know where everything is yet. Path tool. Do the cart track. We want to fade in. We won't fade out though. Just have, you know. Erase. Backspace. Undo. Edit points. I see. Okay, cool. That worked. Nope. Undo that. No. Ah! Oh my god. Is there a redo? What is this shit? Shift apples. Shift control. Okay. Oh, there's a redo, but it's up there. Okay. And just delete that. Cool. Alright. Then there's probably a campfire. You know, as one does. Where's objects again? Object. Cart. Camp? Camp. There you go. Sure, there was a campfire. And it would be, you put the cart there, you'd be like 30 feet away, right? 5, 10, you know. Alright, 15 feet away. Put your campfire. Camp beds. The color should be, pretty, oh. Can I like customize that? Oh, I can make my own custom color, yeah. It should be like, actually it should probably be pretty close to a gray. Yeah, like that. That looks about right. I'll put one there. Yep, I see. Somehow it got much darker than I intended it to be. Okay. Oh, way too far away though. Go to sleep, you know, pretty close. 1, 2. See you later, Lumberjack. Thanks for coming by. Cool, so we did that. We got our little camp going here. Tents? No, they don't have tents. Nice to know that they're all in there. I have not played Kingdom Come Deliverance. Okay, and then we should save this. It looks like I can put them kind of anywhere. I'm just going to create new folder. Maps We'll relocate these elsewhere. Camp template. Cool. And then let's say that in this one, we want our object back. Environment? No. How do I change like the actual ground? Terrain? I guess I could use a terrain brush, yeah. Terrain dirt. Yes. Ooh, okay. Awfully yellow. Isn't that very yellowish? It looks like fucking camo. Terrain void. A little too densely packed. Wait, what? Oh. Okay. So wait a second. You're saying... Okay, so make this one like... And take this one, set this one to be dry grass. Intensity of 1. It really takes a long time for it to show up. Like, this is way too slow. Is it the intensity? Does it look... Ugh. Okay, so you can have like 4 layer terrain layers. Okay. No. Would that be a path tool thing? No. Terrain brush. Oh. Did not mean to do that. Alright, we'll just leave it like that for now. Material. Oh, there's a material brush. Oh, that's not. So how do I make a weird? How do I make a wall? Like, how do you make a natural, you know, a ravine, a wall? Where would that be? Might be. Structured new. All kinds of pillars. Cage. Doesn't really, that's not right. Oh, maybe it would be just. Oh, that's like, that's not right. Take a cave. So that's a cave brush, but what you want. Oh, you know what you could do though is you could do this. Oh, maybe floor shape tool, yeah. No, it's not the floor shape tool. You could do this. You could do a cave brush, ground color, wall color. I guess if I just want that wall. Hmm. Nope. Wait. One more time. Let's try this. Let's do a wall tool. No. Let's do a cave brush. Huge. We can put the ground color to. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But let's just try something here. Let's just make this like a cliff ledge, right? And then just like literally fill all of this in. Caves are here. So if we put it here, but unfortunately it runs right over that wall. Okay. This is one way to do it. I kind of just want a path with that cave wall on it, really. Or a wall. So if I go to wall, is it the same as this? I do cave. No, not quite. Man, just give me that fucking cave wall. What are those extra assets? Hey, good night, Hammer. What's these tags? Nature. Oh, that's cool. I can do this probably, right? No, this doesn't work either. Just a thought. Try the small brush size for a cave. Oh, yeah, I see what you're thinking. The thing is that the inside of that cave is a place. Like it creates, it has rules about how it behaves. But yeah, you could do maybe. Still has an inside. Probably hop onto like they have a Discord and stuff. I should just hop on there and ask what people are doing. Um, I don't really love the way the terrain brush works. The water brush works really good. That's super neat. Let's see here. Okay, it's not mine. Well, you guys want to watch some tutorials? That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, Gunther, I should go to sleep in a second too. I think we figured out what we're gonna use though, which is pretty cool.
Hello everyone, D&D Breakfast Club here. I'm back to do another tutorial. This time I'm going to be covering a product called Dungeon Draft. Dungeon Draft is a map making application where you can take your world map and zoom it in to the local level. You can make battle maps that you can put miniatures on, you can interact with the terrain and the objects around you. I'll go over a few of the pros and cons before we start. This tutorial is going to focus on the basics of Dungeon Draft, that way you can jump in and get started for yourself, creating your own maps. A few of the pros. My first and foremost pro is that this software was made by the same developer of Wonderdraft. Megasploot really put his heart and his soul into Wonderdraft. He's continued to improve and develop the program, and it's worth your time to check out. I did a 4-part tutorial series on Wonderdraft, and I'll put a link in the description. It's worth checking out to see if you want to make larger world maps or region maps. The second pro is there's a lot of choices right out of the gate. This program just came out, it's in early access. If you've ever used any software or tried to play any early access games, you'll probably understand there's a lot of times where a newly released early access product, it just has no bones, it has no soul, it isn't fleshed out, and it lacks in quality and quantity alike. That being said, the developer made sure to release an early access product with more than just a bare bones kit. The third pro for this program is its intuitive UI. My biggest sell with Wonderdraft is that it was very easy to use and its controls were really intuitive. It continues to improve over the past year of release and makes it one of the top contenders for map making programs. I know I keep going back to Wonderdraft as a product, but it really is an amazing tool that keeps getting better over the past year. A few more pros about Dungeon Draft is that you can make quick battle maps, it has auto wall generation, it's very simple to work with, it's got a lot of objects that you can use. We'll go over those in detail and you can see for yourself. There are cons about this program that we do need to talk about. The first one being, and the main con I believe, is that this program isn't early access. Many people buying something want a completed product, something that's 100% finished with no bugs. You will not get that if you buy this product for $20. Just like Wonderdraft, when it came out, it had a lot of bugs, it had things that needed to be fixed, maps needed to be saved, sometimes your maps would be lost with new updates. There's going to be a lot that happens that you don't want it to, it doesn't work right all the time. However, Wonderdraft, once it was finally released, went up to $30. That's something to consider. It'll probably happen with Dungeon Draft 2, where it's $20 in early access, final release will be $30. Don't take my word for that, that's up to the developer. I'm just going on the past history. The second con about the software is it has a very unique art style. That is a con in my opinion, because right now, without the ability to add your own assets, everyone's maps are going to kind of look the same. They're going to end up looking similar, even if they're a completely different building or area. A third con is there's limited starting assets. And I say this half-heartedly. There are quite a few assets to pick from. There's tons of objects, things that you can choose. But I think it needs more. I think it needs different unique assets. And it needs the ability that you can upload your own assets or things that you download online. Another con kind of relating to my last is that there's features that are still missing. For one, adding your own assets. It is in development, that was stated by the developer, but we're still waiting on that. Other things that are missing, I need an overlay where I can import maps. I need Control-Z to work better when I want to undo certain actions. Sometimes those actions don't undo. I'd like to see more material brushes, changing colors of existing objects. There is more of a list, but you'll see as I make these maps, I'll have troubles with certain things, you'll understand what I'm talking about. One of the last cons I'll talk about in this video is the curving path tool. We won't be getting into that tool right away. It is difficult to work with. I will show it to you early on just to understand why I say it's difficult. Later we'll talk about how to use it better. That was a long-winded explanation. I think it needed to be done just so you could understand why or why you wouldn't buy this program. Let's go ahead and get into the basic tutorial where I'm going to teach you how to use the software. Make sure you're updated to the most recent version of Wonderdraft. Right now I'm on version 0.9.0.2. This is the early access version. By the time you're watching this video, it'll more than likely be released. It'll be an updated version. There's going to be things that aren't in this basic video, but this should get you started for what you need, and then I'll have some series coming out after the fact and after it's released that'll go over the new things that have been added. Let's go ahead and click New. Here we can pick our different sizes and different templates. Right now there's only 4 templates. 2 are made for printing, 2 are made for digital TVs. I'm going to select this 40-inch TV. The width is 35, the height is 20. I'm going to make it 19 because I'm using these on my overlay on Twitch, and I know the exact height and width that I need. This works perfectly for mine. You can experiment with your own and see which size works best. Click OK. On the left-hand side, you have 5 different panels. You have Design, Terrain, Objects, Effects, Settings, and Select. We're going to start from the top and work our way down from Design. Click Design. When you click one of these panels on the left, it opens up new tools. You have your Floor Shape tool, Wall Shape, Portal tool, Cave Brush, and then clicking back gets you back to where you were. Eventually, I believe these are going to have quick links just like Wonderdraft did, where if you type maybe F, it'll go to Floor Shape. It's to be seen. In the end, let's hope that he lets us keybind everything just like he did for Wonderdraft. Go ahead and click your Floor Shape tool. This will bring up another panel, the third panel on the left, and it'll show you the different types of floors you can choose from. Right now, it looks like there's 12 different choices. They're each pretty unique. They have different uses. You can even use them for different things. For example, I use these sewer floors here, and I changed their color because I wanted to see something different than that murky green. Control-Z undoes the last action. You have 3 different shapes you can choose from. You have square, circle, and then free points. Free points allow you to make different objects than you would normally with just a square or a circle. So for example, if I wanted to make a triangle, then I could do that right there. There are a few different walls that you can choose from. Remember that if you're making these floors with these walls, they will auto-generate. If you want walls inside your building, you're going to need to go to the Wall tool, and that's right under your Floor tool. You can also make floor plans without walls at all. For this building that I'm going to be designing, I'm going to make it simple. I want to make just a little cathedral. I'll have you follow along with me if you want on your own, or you can just watch and learn how to use
just a little cathedral. I think cathedral implies huge by
I'm
default.
going to change the floor color a little, and that's right.
It's just a teeny tiny basilica. It's just a tiny little thing.
I don't know how this looks on the map yet, so first I'm just going to place it. And our cathedral is going to be something like this. Very simple. Something you might see in most battle maps. Down here on the lower section you see grid, snap, and this layer panel. Right now I want to get rid of my grid. I want to be able to see the floors better. So I'll just click that little button and it takes off the grid. If you want, you can also just press G on the keyboard. If you click the middle button in and move around, you can move the map left to right. I want to zoom in, so if I hold down Control and scroll wheel up, it zooms into my map. If I hold Control and move down on the scroll wheel, it zooms out. Now I'm going to change my floor color. I want it a little more warm in here. It is a cathedral after all. And then I'm going to change my wall color.
Keep saying cathedral. Shouldn't it be like
eventually this will probably be
stone
fixed, but it doesn't
floor?
seem like it wants to generate the walls when you change the color right away. Hitting Control-Z fixes that for now. Hopefully there will be a better fix later. That's a little warmer of a color, more inviting a cathedral. The second tool I'm going to click is the Wall tool. Actually, before we click the Wall tool, I'm going to click the Portal tool. This is where you can make doors. I'm going to use this threshold door. Our church is open to everyone. And just click 2 doors into place. I'm going to put the grid back on. I want to be able to see exactly if it's centered or not. That is not centered, so try it again. There we go. Now my doors are centered on the entrance. Back to the wall tool. I want the wooden walls. Now you'll notice that the color is not the same. So I'm going to go and make sure that I change the color accordingly. On my floor shape tool, when I click the color bar for the walls, it gives you your color code, your hex number. I'm going to copy that with Control C. You can also right click copy. I'm not sure if the right click color plans. I'm not exactly sure how I want it to look, so we'll just do something that fits my needs. We'll just kind of wing it as we go. So I've got my floor plan. This can be our main floor. I might end up putting a basement in this cathedral just to show you how to work with levels. That'll be a little later though. What you can do to help support this channel is much appreciated. And biomes that you can select from. I'd like to see more materials available for the material brush, and I'd like to see the way the terrain brush lays itself or applies itself to the map improved overall. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Once you lay down your floor plans, you might not like the way you did it. I'm going to show you how to delete floor plans. This was something that took me a lot of work to figure out. I'm not even sure that I figured it out before I went and looked up the keybinds on the instruction manual. So I'm going to go back to the floor tool, make sure I have my wall selected, make sure I have my floor selected. I'm going to hold Alt. I'm going to click.
I'm selective, Takayasha. I may like and subscribe.
And you can quickly and easily remove parts of the map.
Subscribing, that's a big commitment. I gotta know what else this guy's doing for content.
Another thing that this is useful for is changing the
right,
color
though, I
of
should
the walls
like.
that are auto-generated when you lay the floor plans. I had a hard time changing the colors whenever I would. It wouldn't automatically change. This is the best method I've found so far. I'm going to go to my walls. I'm going to copy my color. And when I'm at the walls, I'm going to use the floor tool. Hold Alt. And let's do that once more with a different color. Change my walls to red. So nothing changes when I do that. But if I go over here and hold Alt, it changes the colors as I remove a piece, and then I can just add a piece back in. So I'm going to put my color back.
No, Zano, this is a program called Dungeon Draft, which is a... I haven't had Jameson Cold Brew. Dungeon Draft, which is a map-making tool from the guy who made Wonder Draft.
This is a closed door that goes into storage. I don't need any cave walls, but you can use Cave Brush here, and it auto-generates its own walls. Hold Alt and click on the Cave Brush tool, and that's how you remove the cave walls and the cave floor. If you haven't noticed, there's something I told you to do that I've already forgotten. Let's go ahead and save.
It does, PhD. I'm just trying to learn a few things to see if this guy...
I'm going to take my grid off again.
I was just playing around with it. It's very intuitive, but I'm sure I'm missing a few
and I'm going to start working with
features.
the terrain on the outside of this cathedral before we start working with objects. On the left-hand panel, click this little plant icon. This is where you can both brush on different terrains, and you can use presets. Below, you'll see 2 sliders. Brush
It's a $20 one-time cost right now because it's an early release. It will probably go up when it becomes a full release, but it's pretty complete.
You can just slide it up and down. I found that this is an interesting function. Still needs some work, but you can use it as is for now and make it work for you. Under those is the different biomes. You can click this box right here and choose any one of these preset biomes. Barren lands, desert, mountain, prairie, rainforest, settlement, swamp. It defaults to settlement. In here you have 4 presets for settlement. You have dirt, gravel, sand, and snow. These can each be changed individually. If I click this and change it to grass, it now makes the dirt grass instead. If I select cracked earth and on.
I see.
The second tab here is gravel, sand, and snow. So you can have settlement and not just have these 4. You can change these up as you want. You can also fill the entirety of your map with whatever you have selected. For this settlement, let's put some snow down. Maybe it's wintertime. If you'll notice the intensity of 3.2, lays it down pretty thick. Leaves a little green here and there as I'm moving this around the map. I'll put my brush size up. I'm going to mostly fill it like that. Because what I want to do is I actually want to take the grass, lower my brush size, lower the intensity, and it's some thaws here and there. So let's just try to ever so lightly thaw out different parts of this.
So PhD, this is... I'm looking for something that can make maps.
Right now the intensity of 1 or lower, it's pretty difficult. So
I'm actually running my game in something called Foundry VTT, which is in beta. But I love it. It's coming out of beta, I think, in a week or 3. So, but I need to design the actual maps.
Thinking about it, it might actually be good to have a little dirt in here somewhere.
Dude, how do PCs even work? This is what I hate.
The grass died out over the winter time. Might be patches of green, patches of
Right now, it's a Patreon thing. I forget what they actually made the purchase price, or if they've even announced it. I think it was $50. It's a one-time thing as well.
I'll do the same thing going back. Kind of cover it up a bit.
Takayashi, you mean art
I'm actually
styles?
pretty happy with how that looks. It felt a little bit organic. Again, this tool does need a little bit of help.
Yeah, he's right. That terrain brush feels weird. No, I haven't tried Roll20, but I'm not switching tabletop.
The next few brushes here I'll go over.
Boundary's
I'm not
fine.
gonna use
I
them
have
right now.
no objections.
You have your
I
water
really
brush,
like the way
so
it
you can
works.
Create different bodies of water. You have your material brush. You can put down different kinds of materials, and I will use this. I've not tried it too much, but it's something that is interesting. So you can put down cobblestone, rock, grass, lava, and more grass. I think there's 2 different types of grass. And did I say acid? Acid is the first panel. I'm gonna actually put down some cobblestone.
Yeah, Takayashi. I think that that's coming.
Zoom in.
I think that the ability
Put a little
to
cobblestone path around the church. This does not snap to grid. You have to be very precise with your controls. As you're moving the mouse up and down, it's easy to just move curved, make it look like you didn't want it to. This is the smallest brush right now.
Sorry, I got distracted by this. Well, what he was saying was that they're going to be creating the ability to ingest maps, like
So now I want to erase
art
some of the
assets.
cobblestone. You could Control Z where you make a mistake, but instead I'm going to erase some of the cobblestone that I didn't want. To do that, you need to select the same brush that you put the material down with. You're going to hold Alt, and you're going to drag over the parts you don't want.
A bit cumbersome,
Holding
honestly,
Alt
but
as I'm dragging over, and it's brushing off the cobblestone. I'll release Alt, brush on. Hold Alt, brush off.
you're running at 1.5 speed. Good.
I'm pretty happy with this map so far. It's taken me a little longer just because I'm here explaining things. Go ahead and leave a like or a comment. Anything you can do. Just go ahead and jump right in. The last tool on 3 of the Dungeon Draft tutorial. Today I'm going to be talking primarily about objects,
Just
how to use them,
editing.
how to place them, scale them. You can use these on different certain maps, mines. I could even maybe put a little fence around this cathedral. Again, I haven't used it much, so I'm not really certain about it, but let's put down a little log fence. Just like your tiles, just like your walls, right-click to confirm your selection.
Thought your church was open
When
to
I click
all.
and
Why would
drag
there be a
the
fence?
second time, it wants to curve the fence, so instead I'm right-clicking to make it
Right.
curve off.
This is the first time you came by CTS? Oh. Yeah, I mean, I've been playing a lot of games
There's a
lately.
log fence
I was up, I was doing this. I figured I'd hang out with some people.
Edit points up here. I want to actually change this log fence's width to be even.
You want to keep the sheep out. That's a good point.
Each of these selections has a different point. You can click it and move it. And if you make a mistake, you can hit Control Z to undo that.
Okay.
Hours watching me do this, and I don't want to make you suffer with that, so I'm going to go over some of the things you can do. Then I'm going to quickly fast forward this video, and you can watch me place things with speed. First of all, the Object tool and the Scatter tool below are the same objects. There are no different objects in these 2 tools. It's just how you place them is different. For most objects, you're going to just use the Object tool. The Scatter tool is used for different kinds of terrain. For example, trees. Down here, under tags...
Oh, you know what? I want to do a
both
quick
the Object
poll.
tool and your Scatter tool.
Check this
You have
out.
different filters. Clicking on these changes the library panel on the right.
Manage
On my
poll.
library panel, if I want just armor, then I
New
click
poll.
that.
If you can possibly answer, I would really want to try and get a lot of replies on this
And
one.
on and on. Or, for example, say that I want to use a lot of things in a bar. Like you might have different kinds of items like chairs, plates, water. What I'm doing is I'm holding Control and continuing to click. And as I do that, it adds all my tags into my library panel to the right hand
Thanks,
side.
guys.
And then I click Sacks with Control, Pillars, Lighting, Treasure.
Where's my mouse?
So you can select as many as you want. Or you can go back to your library, you can click All. You can click Used, what's already been used in your map. Let's go ahead and make selections for a cathedral. Administration has some nifty things for a cathedral, I think. Probably going to have barrels. I pretty much put barrels in everything. They're good scatter terrain. Good uses for different movement. People can hide behind them, pick them up, chuck them, break them. They hide things, they store things. Overall, the barrels in almost every establishment that I make. Books are going to be in here. Stairs. It pops up an image in the top left corner of what they are. Also, their size. This is their default size, but it's not actually accurate compared from the library panel to the map. For example, it's so large on this tree, but when I go down here, it's actually not as large as the pop-up. It does give you an example of what might be larger and what might be smaller. So I'm going to just use these green simple trees. If I wanted to click and hold and drag around, it's just going to place these trees. It's rotating them. I don't know if you noticed that, but as it's placing them, it's doing it on a different rotation each time. Since I clicked and dragged, one Control Z removes them all.
I didn't think you were still here, Mike.
Over here, you have some different sliders. You have these over and under buttons. For trees,
that's true, Mike.
Things down, increments of 5.
Well, no, the trick is I'm gonna go to sleep, but the trick is to not start playing games. If I start playing games, I'll be up till the sun comes up. Oh, by the way, how do you guys do Easter? Growing up, Easter was not like, I mean, it was a big deal in that we had to get dressed and go to dinner, and I didn't want to do it. But it wasn't like we got a bunch of presents or anything as a kid growing up. It was like, my dad would come home the night before Easter with like some pre-packaged CVS Easter baskets with that plastic grass in it, and we'd get some candy in the morning. Apparently, my wife growing up, like, it's like mini Christmas. Like, we have a bunch of fucking presents up there for my kid right now for her to find that the Easter Bunny left. And nothing, it's not extravagant. It's not like Christmas, but like, definitely like way more stuff than I got growing up. Well, I don't think there's anything religious about that, right? Like, something religious about piles of gifts. That's, I suppose they're, let's see, like into the prosperity gospel or something like that, but seems the opposite of of good Christian. No, it's like it's really cool the way he's populating the tables and everything. Like, it's super detailed. I don't know how necessary it is to running a game. It's not necessary, but it's nice. Yeah. He's filling up the stuff with stuff. I get it. You're doing stuff. Trees, yeah.
I kind of like the second layout, a little notification bell.
Another
Go
one.
ahead and leave a like or a comment. Anything you can do to help support the
Feeling the commercialism of Easter.
Greetings folks, I'm Anto, and today we're going to be taking a look at Dungeon Draft, the battle map maker from the makers of Wonder Draft.
Wait, what happened? I was watching that dude's videos. Is he all done? Hang on.
Hello everyone, we are D&D Breakfast Club. We wanted to invite you to our table today to talk about everything D&D 5th edition related.
See, what is a playlist, maybe? Main Mountains. Not making a Wonder Draft, yes. Oh, he does music. Oh, interesting. Huh. Vidges. Vidges. Uploads all. If he's got any more of that dungeon draft action. Ooh, he's got a lot of videos here, man. Lovely thumbnail. That's a good thumbnail. This is a terrible thumbnail. Just talking about clickability. Like this one almost. Try to find that dungeon draft shit, man. Come on. Where's it at, man? Where's it at? I guess I do have a lot of videos, yeah. That's true. That's true. Okay. We were unable to. Oh wait, there we are. Okay, so he only did the 3 tutorials. Got it. Alright. What was up next after this autoplay? Did I go back to part 1 or something? Oh, I created a loop. Oh wow, that's funny. I didn't know I could do such a thing.
Hello everyone, D&D Breakfast Club here. I'm back with part 3 of the Dungeon Draft tutorial. Today I'm going to be talking primarily about objects, how to use them.
I am bad at the internet. I don't even know how to get back to that video it threw me into.
Hello everyone, we are D&D Breakfast Club.
Because I opened a new tab.
Greetings folks, I'm Anto, and today we're going to be taking a look at Dungeon Draft. Creator of Wonderdraft, Megasploot, announced the new end of the video for more. Probably flag it as a potential threat. If you get flagged by the Windows Defender, there's usually a little option to edit as a C, but we have a color wheel. And what I can do is I can change that, and it changes the tone and applies a color map to that. And most of that time really was getting to know the different options.
That just a couple of different terrain.
But like I said, it's really easy to make multiple.
Kinda works, but you know what's making that work for a drop? Like, is because of that water puts that black line there. Oh, I didn't check out the poll. Let's check out the poll, and thank you for reminding me. It says that 56% of you have it. The reason I ask is because I wanted to test something that I haven't tested yet. I wanted to do this. You guys ever hear of Amazon watch parties? Oh, Hell's Kitchen, neat. Check this shit out. We can. Now they're slowly expanding this to be everything that's on Amazon Prime, which is like a fucking dream come true to me. Because like all I want to do is hang out and talk about movies and host movies. There's actually quite a few good ones on Amazon Prime. But like, for example, we could right now be watching Season 2 of Unsolved Mysteries. But apparently you have to have Amazon Prime to do that. I think. Okay, it says it's playing. I don't see it anywhere. Do you guys see it? Oh, open watch party, a new tab. Okay. Nice! Oh. Guys. Yes! Son of a bitch! I don't know, Mike. I thought didn't it get a revival? It's such a great soundtrack. It is. It was in beta for a long time. It's so loud in my ears right now. Of course, I can turn the volume down. You guys can control your own volume. It was in beta for a while, and I was begging them to let me in, but it wasn't getting extended there. But now it's all partners have access. It's just the issue is that the selection of titles that's available is crazy small. There's basically no movies I'm interested in watching right now. There will be. Ooh, fucker. What? No! Jesus. God, I love the film grain. I love that all this was on film. I'm not even clear. Is this reenactment footage or is that the guy? John Candy's in this. No, not quite. I was to say, they did him a lot of favors with that reenactor. Mm-mm-mm. Press that Mule? Wouldn't that just be Mule? Charlie Mule? Holy fuck, they're flying low. Jesus. Put your fucking helmet on there. Now just check. I just paused it on my end. Does it pause for you guys right now? Do I actually have like playback controls? Like if I want to interrupt and like talk for a second here? Or does it keep playing? I don't really know how this is working. It is still running for you. Oh, that's weird. That means we're out of sync. That's stupid. Now we're out of sync. No, I'm at 604, 605. Wait. Maybe. All right, I'm pausing at 634. I hit play. Oh, it skips me. No, it does jump me to you. It jumped to 645 as soon as I hit play. Okay. So once it starts playing, it's playing. We can do nothing. Because I'm looking at the player here. I have no way to control, because it's weird the way the interface is set up. It's a separate tab. And it showed me a bunch of warnings. I'm not allowed to show you. I'm not I'm not allowed to like do any kind of capture. Um okay. So it's just live TV. Like nobody has any playback controls other than you can interrupt it, but you can't like the moment's gone. You couldn't like be like, let's watch that scene again. You know, you couldn't do the film history classes that I want to do. Kind of. That's all right. That's cool. Good fucking God. What? What is this reenactment of? What in the fuck? Good God. It's exactly Tempest. That was exactly what I was thinking of. Clips from the. It's actually clips from the movie Johnny Got His Gun, by the way. The music video from Metallica. One. They're using film clips from the movie Johnny Got His Gun, which was a anti-World War I novel. Oh, that's a good use of a flat zoom. That's nice. The implication by the tape is that his lips were blown off. I'm more commenting on the fact that I don't feel like this is a very respectful reenactment. I'm not making fun of the real person's plight. I'm like just saying, this is fucking insane. Is what I'm saying. All right, so here's the deal, guys. I'm going to end the watch party. Sorry about this. Because I want to show you. What I can do is this. I can show you this. Can't bust me for this. We're going to go to the Mac desktop. And, here, actually, let's recapture the second monitor over here. Okay. I'm going to show you. Oh, you can see how many subscribers I have. You're not supposed to be able to see that. It's secret. Start a watch party. I just want to show you what's available so we can watch. Oh, okay. So it gives you the permission to continue watching. That's interesting. We can watch A Simple Favor, AFK. I don't know what that is. After the Rain, America's Next Top Model, Animal Kingdom, a bunch of anime stuff like Banana Fish. I don't know what the hell that is. Baywatch, the original, nice. War the Dawn, don't know what that is. Could you? Oh, Axel, shit, you couldn't send anything. Could you see anything, Axel? I'm going to bed in 5 seconds. I really am. Truly, I am. I was doing some. I was up. I was doing some stuff, and I figured, why not have some friends with me? Captain America. We can watch that, and I can tell you all my problems with it. Baywatch is tempting. Chuck, the original Dark Shadows. Not the original Death Wish. If it was the original, I'd be all over that. Never saw Eureka. I loved Farscape. This was on when I was in high school, and I really liked it. But I'm really hesitant to revisit it because I feel like I'm going to hate it. Flavor of Love. Good Omens is on here. We could watch that together, and you could watch me groan and cringe. I was like, you know what? This is a show. If my wife had told me, yeah, I really like that, I would have gotten into it. But honestly, it wasn't my speed. It's that cutesy poopsy Neil Gaiman / Doctor Who style of British stuff that does not work for me. This Grimm is on here. Grimoire of Zero. Hannah the series. Hell's Kitchen, US version. House is on here. Hunters. Is this in any way related to Inuyasha? Or no? Okay, so Axel, you could see my reaction, and it said I could chat if I had Prime and had access to the video in my region. Interesting. It's weird that it lets you kind of. I was surprised. Yeah, I kind of figured honestly that a lot of you guys were going to bail when I went to the party. Yeah, you do need to have Amazon Prime, which makes sense. Like, otherwise, it would be a mechanism to get around paying for the media. Making the cut. The Avengers. Mission Impossible Fallout. Modern Love. I don't know what that is. Okay, so it is not related to Inuyasha. Monk. Mr. Robot. The film Pandemic. Is. Actually, what the hell is this? This a Vin Diesel movie or something? Parks and Rec. Pawn Stars. Oh boy. Pokemon. Diamond and Pearl. Psych. Recreators. I don't know what that is. It's not into Mr. Robot. Couldn't do Mr. Robot. Ronja. The Robber's Daughter. RWBY. How do you pronounce that? Is that an acronym or is that pronounced Ruboy? Ruboy. I think it would make a lot of sense for us to watch some Sex and the City. SpongeBob is on here. 3 to 5 year. Plantation 5 year. Pronounced Ruby. Okay. It's funny. I thought about this too. I never really got into the original Star Trek, and seeing that this was in here, I thought that might be fun to do on here. I could see doing that. I was pretty into Next Gen when I was growing up, and Deep Space Nine. Zero desire to watch any Stargate television. Street Fighter 2, the animated movie. Was there ever a Street Fighter 1? Was there ever a Street Fighter 1? Strike Back. I don't know what the fuck that shit is. Survivor, Amazing Race, The Boys was actually pretty great. Everybody keeps telling me to watch The Expanse. I'm gonna tell you what. I watched the first episode of this. I could tell immediately this is a show I hate. And if I stream watching it, I'm gonna lose a lot of fans because I'm gonna rag on it a lot. I'm not into it. I'm not really into these dudes either, to be honest. I don't know anything about the Gymkhana Files. Man in the High Castle is one of the most uneven shows I've ever seen. I felt like the plots and performances that centered on the older actors were all really good. And I thought that the plots that were centered on the younger characters, the younger actors, were incredibly bad. Well, what we're looking at here, Dr. Leviathan, I'm just showing you what small segment of what's available on Amazon is currently available for watch parties. Just to kind of gauge your interest in that. The Sopranos. I never saw Sopranos, actually. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I kind of like the show. It's okay. Mentalist. One in Black. It's okay. I have no desire to watch Jack Ryan. Well, it will be really cool, and I'm going to show you why in a second. True Grit, Unsolved Mysteries. Obviously a blast to watch Unsolved Mysteries. Vikings. Yeah, everybody was trying to get me into this. I never got into it either. Yeah, I'm not a Tom Clancy dad. That's not my move. I'm not a Tom Clancy dad guy. Vinland Saga, Workaholics. Okay. Never got into this. Workaholics. The dude's hair. I don't know why. It just makes me not. It tells me this is probably not a show you're gonna like, right? I don't know anything about Vinland Saga. Nice. Nope. It is Dr. Carl Leviathan. Dr. Carl Leviathan. That is your name. So check this out. I was tweeting about this the other day. I'm always annoyed by the user interface of basically every streaming service on Earth. What did I make my pants with? That's weird. Oh, You know why? Because I used... So, this fixes every problem I have with every streaming service. First off, you can create an account and put in all of your streaming services, and it will tell you what is available and where it's available. Okay, brilliant. Check this out, though. Let's say I wanted to watch all movies on every service that I have, right? Actually, on all of my services. And then I want to filter. Let's say this is a thing that happens to me a lot. I just want to watch a pre-code movie, which means it's got to be released between 1934 1930. All right. And now I can find all the movies I want to watch. Dinner at 8 is available on TCM. Most Dangerous Game is available in several places. Human Bondage is available on Prime. I've been meaning to see Private Life of Henry VIII forever. I never would have known that it was on Prime Video. Never. I'm a huge fan of the actor in this, and basically because of the way suggestive sorting is happening on all of these streaming services, like you can't just filter for what you want to watch. It's like movies we think you would like, movies with a great cast, movies. It's like I don't know. It just no, I don't think so, Albator DeMarco. I don't think that it illustrates that. I think it just illustrates the fact that like all these streaming services actually have much bigger catalogs than they're making you aware of. That's all. Like Rain is on Prime? That's crazy. That's a crazy good movie. Emperor Jones is on Prime? Maniac, Vampire Bat, Hold Your Man. Hold Your Man is on TCM right now. Nice. Madam Satan is on TCM. That's a fucking bonkers movie, by the way. Prime. But my point was when I started looking at this, I was like, well, great, because they say that Prime is going to expand watch parties to include their entire library, right? Well, then awesome. There will be really neat things I can share with you that probably, I mean, hopefully some of you guys will watch, but load more. Let's see here. What if, let's just do a search. Let's find M. Yep. Where is it available? It's on the Criterion and on Canopy. Alright, it's a bummer. Let's, how about I Am a Fugitive from a Chain Gang. Where can we watch that? Ooh, shit, nowhere. Nowhere. Although, I mean, I have it. The problem with that is that I mean, I can watch it. I own a copy, and I could stream a copy, but actually the one time we tried it, I got shut down. I think Bombay is fine. I don't really have I think Bombay is a pretty... Bombay Sapphire? Is that the regular one? I don't know, actually. I'm thinking of Tanqueray. What's wrong with me? I don't know when I've had a bottle of Bombay. I'm sure I have. I mean, good. I think Bombay's fine, probably. Would a 1932 movie be out of copyright by now, though? I don't think so. No. I think that the year that just exited copyright was 27 or 28. So we're a ways off from 32. Let's see here. How about Blonde Crazy? Can we watch that anywhere? No, not available. How about Babyface? No, not available. Oh well. Oh, how about damn it. Nowhere. Man, I like some weird shit, I guess. Anyway, how about The Conversation? Can we watch that somewhere? 'Cause that's a great movie. There's a lot of, like, I think that basically the two time periods for best films was like the 30s, then like the 70s, and some of the 80s. This is available on Prime, and you can fucking bet your biscuits we'd be watching this. We had this on Prime. If you haven't seen The Conversation, you should see The Conversation. I think this might be this is a perfect film. A perfect film. I'm not gonna say it's the greatest movie of all time, but I think it is a perfect film. Clockwork Orange. I'm certain it's available somewhere. Nope, it's only on CBS All Access, weirdly. Another, how about The French Connection? I never saw LA Classified. French Connection not on services. Bummer. I think you mean LA Confidential, by the way. Which I also never saw. Available nowhere. Anyway, I just think it's I think that the watch parties is a pretty cool thing. It's not just movies. The copyright. How long is copyright on movies? 70 years after the death of the author. In film, it is 70 years after the death of the producer of the film. So, it's still going to last for a really long time. No, I never saw the second Dirty Harry movie. The point is, I mean, sure, but it's not available right now on watch parties. So until they roll out the entire library, we can't watch anything on there, right? But I think it's an exciting. I think it's a really cool tool. I'm excited about it. Yeah, we were just looking at what's available on watch parties, which is well, there's a couple of funny things in like UK copyright law. The Queen, it's one of the, if I'm not mistaken, it is one of the purviews of the Crown that they can issue a copyright under any terms that they so desire. For example, the copyright for Peter Pan is held by a children's hospital, if I'm not mistaken, and will be forever. Indefinitely. Because it was given to them. I don't know. So I'm of two minds about copyright like that. And you have to understand too, there's a difference between copyright and trademark, right? Like a lot of people talk about like, oh, Mickey Mouse is going to become public domain. No, Mickey Mouse is a trademark, so Mickey Mouse will never become public domain. It is possible that some early Mickey Mouse films will become public domain. However, since Mickey Mouse himself will remain the trademark brand image of the Disney company, it is questionable about whether or not it will effectively matter, because I think you would still be in violation of a trademark if you redistributed that media or did anything with it that, whatever. Yeah, I guess. Okay, so I would consider doing a video on sake, but I don't really know enough about sake. It's also not a spirit; it's a wine. So I mean, it's a little outside of my general interest and I guess expertise. Steamboat Willie will become public domain in 2024, but Mickey Mouse will remain the trademarked brand image of the company. I just read an article about this, about how like it really may not ever fucking matter. And then the other one is, what cameras do I use on the regular show? So the regular show is shot on a red Monstro. It's a pretty baller camera. The lens we're using is primarily a 40mm ARRI Master Prime, which is some serious glass. But lately I've been unable to do that because that comes with a crew. Like that's not something I do myself. I've been shooting. The Jin episode is the first self-produced episode we've done because we can't have a crew anymore. So that was shot on a GH5S with basically a kit lens, a 12 to 35mm lens that I have. I'm looking to make some upgrades though. No thank you, Undead Unicorn, not right now, but I appreciate the offer. I guess I should get zombies. People really want me to play zombies. Honestly, there's really not a lot of time slots in my streaming schedule for gaming when I really look at my schedule, so maybe I will play zombies. Yeah, people keep telling me about this Final Fantasy VII thing. I should probably do something with that, actually. That's probably a really good button to push. I appreciate that. Yeah, a Paloma and a Paloma. I don't know a lot of tequila drinks either off the top of my head. I'm not a big tequila drinker, although I should be. I like tequila. I have nothing against it. Yeah, I want to figure out how to do more stuff like that without just doing more of exactly that. Is it PS4 only? That sucks. I'm not buying a console just to have Final Fantasy VII. It's coming to PC. Alright, cool. Oh, I don't know about that. That was actually what was so fun to me. I thought that would be impossible. Like, to me, the idea about doing that, we wanted it to be the April 1st episode. We missed it by a day because the edit wasn't done. The whole idea behind the shooting it was that, like, all these things are going to taste identical, and it was going to be basically an impossible task. It turned out not to be at all. So, I think that, like, I like doing the order by price thing, though, because it's... Anything else is, unless I can pull the name and know the name, like this is Old Granddad or something like that. I don't know what I can do that I have a chance at winning. And that's objective. Because you can't just like order them by good to bad. Like that's totally subjective, right? Exactly, Tempest. There's a lot of vodkas I didn't try, Huzzabuzza. Yeah, Dr. Carl. It was a recent episode. It was 2 episodes back on my channel on how to drink. No, I'm not insomniac. I'm going to bed. I'm just do long goodbyes. So anyway, I think that the watch parties show a lot of promise. Matt Colville was saying exactly the same thing, that he just like, it looks really cool. It just sucks that there's such a limited title basis. I really want to be able to pause the stream, the movie though, because like what I want to do is like, there was a show that I loved when I was a kid called Dinner and a Movie. I mean, like in my dream world, I would recreate basically that. You know, I'd be like, okay, guys, we're going to watch this movie. Here's some facts about it. blah 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 blah. And throughout the movie, we're going to be making a couple of cocktails, and then like at a couple of key points, I could pause, share some trivia, make a drink, something like that, and then go on. Right now, it's set up. You could definitely do riff tracks, which would be fun. I have a couple of friends that would be good at that, so I'd like to have, Ari come over and do that and stuff like that. So that's cool. Excuse me. It just stinks that like I don't have master playback controls for the whole thing. It's a little frustrating. Yeah, literally just like, okay guys, push pause right now. Except for the fact that the movie keeps playing underneath that. Even if we all pause at the same time, it just pauses your local screen. When you hit play again, it picks up where the master time code is. It just picks, it jumps you ahead a minute for how long you're paused for. Well, thank you, Maester Man. You're not Meester Man. You're not alone. A lot of people, I get that comment a lot. I don't even drink, but I love this show. That's wonderful. So, I mean, it's still something. It will be anything on Prime. Right now, they're saying this year it will eventually expand to be everything that's on Amazon Prime. I have a funny feeling that may not be the case when it's all said and done. It'll probably just be a lot of things on Amazon Prime, but maybe it'll be everything. But right now it's like 25 or 30 titles. And they're all... there's nothing in there I'm really excited to watch with you guys. It's all stuff like, okay, well, this could be really silly to watch. There's like Star Trek. I never got into old Star Trek, so that might be fun. Watching the original series the first time really might be kind of neat. I watched all the original cast movies. I kind of really grew up with those around the house a lot, but I never got into Star Trek, the original series. There is Melon Keller, but even the stuff that's available now, there's stuff it's not ad friendly, and it says there's age warnings when we started that stream just before of Unsolved Mysteries from 1990. God, I watched that show every fucking week growing up. Unsolved Mysteries and hard copy. Also, Melon Keller, is that a reference to Blind Melon and Helen Keller all at once? Kudos. Well played. Well done. Well, guys, it's about time for me to hit the old dusty trail. Yeah, I watch a lot of X-Files too. Where is my stream controls? What the heck? Window. Studio. Create a dashboard, rather. This was ASMR for you? Alright, good to know. Wow, man, I can't believe how many people are hanging out with me this late. And especially since half of you couldn't watch the watch party. That's pretty wild. Huh. I guess you can't... I probably can't take those watch party videos and then redistribute them on my second YouTube channel. Probably can't. Alright. Yeah, so, well, D&D, we're playing Dungeons & Dragons. My group is playing on stream Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So that's what we were doing today. I was basically figuring out what's going to be my dungeon mapping tool. Figured it out. So, mission accomplished. All right, guys. Well, thank you all so much for hanging out with me and for Okay, I'm going to bed. Good night, guys. Thank you for being a friend.